Hey everyone, welcome back to the channel. Today, we're doing something a little different. We're not just looking at a specific opening or analyzing a Grandmaster game. Instead, we're going to take a trip back in time. We're going to explore the incredible history of the game we all love. Okay, so where did chess actually begin? The story starts in ancient India, around the 6th century. That's over 1,500 years ago. It was known as Chaturanga, a Sanskrit word. It literally means 4 divisions or 4 limbs. Infantry, cavalry, elephants, chariots. These units later became our pieces. Pawns, knights, bishops, rooks. It was a game of war strategy, played on a board. So how did this Indian game of Chaturanga start its world tour? The next stop was Persia, which is modern-day Iran. Around the 7th century, trade and cultural exchange between India and the Persian Sasanian Empire were booming. The Persians were fascinated by this new game. They made it their own. In Persia, the game's name changed from Chaturanga to Chatrang. The Persian word for king was Shah. This is the origin of our word check, and when the king could not escape an attack, they would say Shahmat. Shahmat means the king is helpless or the king is dead. When Shatranj arrived in Europe around the 10th century, brought by Arab traders and conquerors through Spain and Italy, it was still a much slower game than the one we play today. The most powerful piece was the furs, or the advisor, which was the predecessor to our queen. It could only move 1 square diagonally in any direction. Can you imagine playing a game where your queen is one of the weakest pieces? This all started to change around the 15th century, in the late Middle Ages. Sometime around 1475 in Spain or Italy, a new rule was introduced. The furs was transformed into the modern queen we know and love today. Suddenly, this piece could move any number of squares in any direction. Horizontally, vertically, diagonally. This single change completely revolutionized the game. Pawns were also given the option to move 2 squares on their first move, speeding up the opening phase of the game. This new, faster version of the game was called Scacchi alla Rabbiosa in Italian, which means Mad Woman's Chess, because the queen's new power was so wild and destructive. This was the birth of modern chess. With its new, faster rules in place, chess became the obsession of Europe. Chess clubs started popping up in cities like London, Paris, Rome. People would gather in coffee houses to play, discuss strategy, and watch the best local players battle it out. The game was no longer just for royalty. It was being played by merchants, scholars, and the growing middle class. Manuals and books on chess strategy were printed and became bestsellers. The 19th century was the age of the first international chess tournaments. The very first one was held in London in 1851. This tournament was won by a brilliant German player named Adolf Anderssen. These events created chess celebrities and intense rivalries. The idea of a world chess champion was born. The first official world champion, Wilhelm Steinitz, was crowned in 1886. The invention of the mechanical chess clock in 1883 was another game-changer. The clock introduced time pressure, adding a whole new layer of excitement and difficulty to competitive chess. As European empires expanded across the globe, they took the game of chess with them. They introduced it to their colonies in the Americas, Africa, and Asia. National chess federations were formed, and in 1924, the World Chess Federation, or FIDE, was founded in Paris. FIDE standardized the rules and organized international competitions, including the Chess Olympiad. The history of chess is filled with legendary players and unforgettable games. One of the most famous is the immortal game played in 1851 between Adolf Anderssen and Lionel Kieseritzky. Anderssen, playing as white, sacrificed almost all of his major pieces, both rooks, a bishop, even his queen, to set up a stunning checkmate with his remaining minor pieces. It's a game that shows the beauty of chess, where material doesn't matter as much as a brilliant idea. Paul Morphy, an American genius from New Orleans, who came to Europe in 1858 and completely dominated everyone. Later, in the 20th century, you had José Raúl Capablanca from Cuba, a natural talent who seemed to play with effortless grace. And of course, there's Bobby Fischer, the American prodigy who single-handedly took on the entire Soviet chess machine during the Cold War. The 1972 World Championship match in Reykjavik was more than just a chess match. It was a global event, a symbol of the Cold War rivalry between the USA and the USSR. When Deep Blue finally defeated Kasparov in 1997, it was a watershed moment. It signaled the beginning of a new era where computers would become an essential tool for chess analysis and training. It signaled the beginning of a new era where computers would become an essential tool for chess analysis and training, changing the game forever. It signaled the beginning of a new era where computers would become an essential tool for chess analysis and training, changing the game forever. And that brings us to today, the year 2025. Chess has never been more popular or more accessible. Thanks to the internet, you can play a game with someone on the other side of the world in seconds. You can watch top grandmasters stream their games live, explaining their thought processes in real time. The game that started as Chaturanga in ancient India has found its ultimate home in the digital age, connecting millions of us in a global community. Every time you sit down to play, you are part of that long, rich history. It's pretty cool when you think about it. Thank you so much for coming along on this historical journey with me. I'd love to hear your thoughts in the comments below. What was the most surprising fact you learned today? Do you have a favorite player or a favorite moment from chess history? Let me know. Let's get a discussion going. If you enjoyed this video, like and subscribe for more. Share this with a friend who's just getting into chess. Thanks again for watching. I'll see you in the next one.